Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I was away last week. I was out of town. I filmed some videos leading up to that so I could just have them posted when I was gone. So I got a little off schedule. So this week I'm just going to be combining last week and this week's episodes into one video because I don't want to have to make all these separate videos and get confusing. So I'm trying to get back on schedule. And side note, I am now unemployed. I don't know if I've already said that in my video. I probably did. So now that I have all this time on my hand, this week we're getting back on track. We're doing Salt Lake episode 3 and 4. I'm just combining them. And then tomorrow it'll probably be OC or whatever. And then I think it's OC and then I'm a little off schedule this week, but we'll get back to it. OC and then Roni. Does that sound like a plan for y'all? Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get there eventually. I'm trying to make it make sense, okay? Today we're talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake, episode 3 and 4. I am so excited. I am so excited. I'm so excited to be talking about, they're heading to Milwaukee. I was actually just up near Milwaukee for my trip, so I was like, should I go to Milwaukee? So it starts off with them like talking about they're getting ready to go to Milwaukee. Mary was like, I'm not coming on this plane with all of y'all because there's gonna be like 20 people on this plane and she kind of alludes to taking her own PJ. I'm like, okay, girl. Seems like a waste, you know, like everybody gets on Taylor Swift's case about traveling around for her tours and stuff like that on a PJ, but yet there's already a PJ going for your group and you're like, no, not doing that. I'm gonna take my own PJ. Then they get to the hotel in Milwaukee, and normally I don't like when the housewives stay in a hotel because I don't like when they're all in their separate rooms because I feel like they don't commingle as much when they're all in their own rooms. I think that's why the production usually likes to put them like in a villa or something, you know, but I understand it's probably hard to find a place to accommodate like so many people, but I really like this hotel because it's like they have the common areas and then they have all the rooms like offshoots of the main hotel area. So, or of the main room, the suite. Then they went gambling, which I was kind of shocked by, before the Bucks game. I believe if I'm remembering all this correctly. And Lisa was talking about gambling as a Mormon because she's Mormon 2.0, as she always says. And it was funny because she was saying how like Mormons aren't supposed to do X, Y, and Z because, you know, it's against the rules and blah, blah, blah. But she was like, well, one, I'm not addicted to gambling, which I guess is a way around it. But I thought about, I have not seen the show, but I've heard people talk about it. I think it's called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or something like that. And they like, I feel like Mormons, because there are so many of these like rules of like normal stuff, so they find a way around it by doing stuff that's like, well, technically they didn't say this, and technically they didn't say that, so, you know, like, I've heard they don't do drugs and all that, but, like, they'll do, like, laughing gas or something, like galaxy gas, or I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I'm like, okay, if that helps you sleep at night and, you know, makes you feel like you're still following the rules, even though I'm pretty sure drugs in any shape or form are probably not really kosher, you know, go ahead. Then they go to the Bucks basketball game, which I'm not gonna lie, that place looks so amazing. I'm like, I kind of want to go to a Bucks basketball game. I don't even care about basketball, but it looked fun. Then Mary gives us a creepy, I don't know, I was happy that Mary, she felt a little, I feel like she was having fun. She was dancing with Angie at the end. I was happy she was having fun, but we got a little TMI with this information. I think Angie said it, like, do you want to go to the bathroom with me? And Mary's like, no, I don't use public restrooms. I just put a tampon in. Huh? I'm sorry, girl. Do you know those are two different holes? Like, peeing, I mean, I'm not saying it probably wouldn't soak up something, maybe. I don't know. Like, where are we putting the tampon? Are you just, like, putting it in your underwear? Or are you, like, inserting it? Like, what? Maybe it would soak a little bit, but probably not most of it, I would think. Why don't you just pull like a Sonia Morgan and just wear like adult diapers? Because that would obviously work way better. But I'm thinking about it and I'm like, do you think Mary Cosby just like stinks? Like like, if you're, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm like, after that piece of information, I'm like, do you think she just like reeks? Like, if you were around her, would she just smell like piss? I don't know. Like, that just grosses me out. And also, I'm just thinking about her at this Bucks game, like peeing in this luxury box to go watch basketball. Like, just peeing in the seat because she doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go to the bathroom. Also, like, meanwhile, they probably have access to like the bathrooms that like most people don't really have access to too, because like usually the boxes are on like their own level, so like the bathrooms probably on that level are probably nicer, and like nobody probably really uses them anyway because it's like only meant for the box level. So, but I said I'm glad Mary's having fun though. She seems to be like letting loose, so that you know. Angie earlier in the episode brought up that her brow girl, I guess, has been in the DMs with Brittany's boyfriend, not boyfriend. She says during the trip that they're back together, and people are like even Lisa's kind of like, I appreciate that Lisa was just very much like, you need to like, just do not be involved with this man. Like, he does not care about you. And sure enough, it comes out about these DMs, and it's like, I just feel bad for her because I feel like she really is just like in her own world with this whole thing. And I really don't think it comes from like a place of, like, they kind of talk about this in the next episode 4, but like, they were like, is it because he's an Osmond? Like, is that why you like him? And I'm like, I genuinely don't even think it's because of that, because it seems like she likes him a lot more than he likes her. And like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like she's taking advantage of him. I feel like he's definitely taking advantage of her, but she's also being like a little head in the clouds about this whole thing. So, and it also kind of ends with Bronwyn. Bronwyn just like, I don't know how to feel about her. I honestly think I don't like her at this point. Maybe she'll redeem herself. You know, there's always a chance for redemption with a housewife, but I just feel like this is not a good freshman season for Bronwyn. She's just like being messy, and she's like, oh, well, you guys get to all be messy, so why don't you like let me be messy? And I was like, yeah, like, I agree with you. Like, definitely Lisa and Heather and they're all talking shit, and they all talk shit behind each other's backs, and they all do it very sneakily and whatever, but like, you kind of have to learn the ropes, I feel like, before you start playing that game, and you're just like jumping right in and not even doing it that well, to be quite honest, because you're blatantly doing it like all on camera, so there's all this contradicting like stuff. I feel like she's doing the most. So that was that on that episode 3. So now we're moving on to episode 4, which I really liked this episode because they did all these different fun Milwaukee things. They went to the beer caves, and I am not gonna lie, I was really shocked that Mary was open to trying beer and tried it and really liked it. I think the way the guy framed it was like, this is the champagne of beers, you know, because that's the slogan. I think Mary took that as like, oh, this is like fancy beer. And it's like, no, not really. It's not fancy beer, but I mean, it's just beer. So, but I think it's all about how you frame it. And then they were eating like cheeses and stuff with it, so I think that kind of helps. It's like when you drink wine, like a certain aromas or whatever like bring out certain things in the wine. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with beer, maybe. Like if you eat certain things with the beer, it'll probably taste better. And the other ladies, Lisa did not want to go to the beer cave, so she took, it was Lisa Melee, is how you say her name, and Brittany all went curling, which I thought was kind of fun. And I kind of said this in the first part of this video, but I really appreciate that, like, Lisa has been sticking up for Brittany and just saying, like, you need to value yourself. And I think her and Heather see just the behavior of a typical Mormon woman, and just like, even though they're not necessarily Mormon now, but I think that just like religious stuff like sticks with you if you grew up with it, and just like her behavior and feeling like she needs a man to validate her existence, kind of, in a way. And once again, we go back to the flashback to the beer caves, and Bronwyn is talking about her husband, who apparently also worked for the Miller Company or whatever. I'm like, what hasn't this man done? Like, I know he's older, but like, he's literally done everything. Like, I'm like, who is this man? I need to know. Like, I don't care about Bronwyn. I'm more interested in your husband now. Because I'm like, He has done it all. Miller, he's carried the freaking torch at the Olympics. He made the BlackBerry, the pager, whatever it is, Palm Pilot. That's what it was. Not pager, Palm Pilot. Which is like probably one of the most short-lived pieces of technology ever, I will say. But like, still, it's interesting. It's interesting nonetheless. Also, the story that Mary kept telling, they went from the beer caves and they were like, oh, let's go like hear some ghost stories. And the fact that like Mary is telling these people from Milwaukee about Mary's dad supposedly having like witnessed Jeffrey Dahmer's like the people he killed, like bodies getting taken away. And then she was like, yeah, but my dad liked to lie a lot. It's like, oh my God. And then I think this is when they were at, where were they when this happened? I don't even remember. Maybe it was so much happened in this episode. They went to the beer caves and then they went somewhere else and I can't remember. Maybe this was a flashback. I don't even remember. I think this was a flashback from when they went to the casino. At some point, Meredith was talking about the allegation that somebody on Instagram or something made about Whitney's products, Whitney's jewelry products specifically, being from like Alibaba and like marked up Alibaba China sort of crap stuff. So she's trying to portray it like it's her caring about Whitney or whatever, her just showing concern. But really Meredith, I love you, Meredith. I love Meredith so much, but it's hard to like defend her when she just like talks shit and then like doesn't really, she feigns it as like concern or something, but then like she doesn't want to like have the confrontation. And then when it gets brought up, it's like, oh, well, I just, it's like, no, we know what you're doing. You're getting messy. You're being messy. I just wish she would be like a little bit more straightforward about it, but that's just Meredith. I don't think she'll ever be straightforward about that kind of stuff. Also, it's like, girl, like, oh, who cares? Like, okay, that's one thing. The Alibaba thing is one thing, but like the whole like, well, she's doing jewelry and I'm doing bath. But like Whitney made a good point. It's like, why are you gatekeeping this stuff? Like, wait, she's not coming. Like, it's a little hippy dippy when Whitney was saying it, but it was like, she doesn't come from a place of abundance. She's like gatekeeping and like, no, only I can do this. Yeah. And then we go to the Harley Davidson Museum. They're going there for dinner, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that place looks so cool. I'm like, damn, I really should have gone to Milwaukee because it looked really fun. It looked cool. Even though I'm not like necessarily I've never been on a motorcycle, but I'm like, that place looks fun. And I said, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the best fashion so far I've seen on the show was at the Harley Davidson Museum somehow. I'm like, of all places, Harley Davidson, I never would have thought this is where you guys would shine in fashion. But I guess it's pretty easy as long as you just like stick to like a leather jacket. I feel like it's kind of easy to get, just all black look. You can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Also, then the Lisa and Angie thing, the Lisa, Whitney, Angie, all the stuff gets brought up. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot believe that Lisa went there about Elektra. And now it makes sense why Angie goes off and gets mad about Lisa's kids. It's like, bringing up the kids is really messed up. It's like, if Angie really was answering all your calls and talking to you, and then, God forbid, she wants to go hang out with her daughter instead of talk to you on the phone all day, like, that just, you're making yourself look bad right now. Like, don't bring up the daughter. And then Brittany once again brings up that her and whatever this guy's name, I don't even know what his name is, the Osmond guy, Joe or whatever his name is, are broken up. And she then feels like, I don't really like Bronwyn, but the fact that Brittany felt the balls to bring up like Bronwyn is a gold digger because her husband is older. It's like, girl, I love you, but like, I don't think it's your place to be bringing up like anybody's relationship when like you're like on again, off again with a guy who's literally like cheating on you. I mean, like, it's kind of rough. So maybe don't throw stones in glass houses. You know what I mean? But as much as I want to defend Bronwyn there, then she goes and they go to the drag bar and she gets in the most ridiculous hot dog freaking costume I've ever seen. Like the fact that Mary Cosby is like, the heart jacket was fashion, that is just a costume. I'm like, why do I agree with Mary about this? And Mary has probably the next worst style on the cast. And I saw somebody saying on like a Reddit post that it's like, well, of course, like people just like to hate because it's colorful and fun and they're boring. And I'm like, I don't even hate the colorful stuff. I think there is like a way to do it that's chic and elegant. Like Dorinda Medley, for example. I think Dorinda is so fabulous and chic and her house was amazing. Colorful and beautiful. There's a way to do it to me that is like, that is fashionable and pretty and cute. However, you are doing it's like borderline you're just being shocking. It's not like you're doing it in a fashionable, elegant way. I think there is a way to do like, you know, I totally agree to like seeing the same like Hermes freaking belt or Gucci belt and then like the same shit on all the women is like, it's boring. I totally agree with you. However, like I said, there's a way to do it that I think is fashionable and chic, and there's a way to do it where it's like, you look like a goofball, which is the hot dog costume. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was, I'll put a picture here actually. She was like, oh, I saw that on the runway and I knew I had to have it. Girl, what? This hot dog costume that you could have gotten at Target for 20 bucks? You bought this for probably like thousands of dollars? Huh? Like, no, okay, nobody can convince me that that is chic or cool or any, like, no, she's wearing a hot dog costume. I you know, I don't want to yuck somebody's yum, but like, I don't know, that to me was a little, it was a little out there. It was questionable. Like, let's be real. It was questionable at best. Anyway, so that was kind of it. I totally forgot though. I could be misremembering, but I swear at one point, while they were filming this season, I thought that I heard that Mary had left the trip in Milwaukee early. I don't know if that was just like gossip and maybe it wasn't true, but I feel like I remember them talking, like the news or whatever, the gossip mags, talking about how Mary Cosby like left something early for this season. So I don't know if that's true or not. I guess we'll wait and see. I don't know. Anyway, that is all I had for Salt Lake City episode 3 and 4. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you next time for, I think OC. I think my OC video is going to be next. Probably going to film it right now after I wrap this video up. So I'll see you then. And thanks for watching. Bye.